Guys, I am Preeti and you are watching this Knowledge Bank Hypnosis FAQ video part 2. Now, I would like to say that this is the most requested, not exactly video, because videos I have just started doing recently since past few months, but these questions what I am asked during this, whatever questions I'm going to be taking in this video, they are going to be like the most asked. Maybe a zillion times I asked these questions, and that's the reason why I have put this into this video. Now the reason why I'm doing this is I am a hypnotherapist, and hypnotherapy is like a very good therapy mode where people can gain a lot. But just because people have a lot of myths regarding hypnosis and a lot of misconceptions, a lot of fears, a lot of disbeliefs which are not true, which are actually people feel that that's the truth, and they just don't go to a hypnotherapist because of this. Now, after watching this video, if you still don't want to go to a hypnotherapist, it's completely your choice. But I would just like to discuss in this video just to remove that fear, okay? Because it's not good to have fears, right, of any sort, because I am a hypnotherapist and there are a few people I know who give me that sort of looks. You're a hypnotherapist, right? Oh, okay, and they feel as if, I'm going to look into their eyes and I'm going to hypnotize them, and I don't know what not they think, okay? So let's begin with this video. So first of all, we are going to discuss hypnosis or hypnotherapy, okay? We have discussed already what is hypnotism. Okay, hypnotism is something that is people usually use only in stage form to entertain people, okay? There is no sort of therapy, or there is no sort of goodness or wellness in as an intention in doing that action, okay? People are just doing it in order to entertain their audience and nothing else, okay? And another thing is, now you might be seeing on your screen, this is like hypnosis and hypnotherapy. I've just put a slash between both of these words. I would like to say that there is no difference between both of these. It's just that the word therapy, sometimes it's against the law to use the word therapy, sometimes by people who are not of medical background, and that's the reason in a few countries, out there, I think in California, it is a law that you just cannot use a word like therapy or clinical or something like that if you are not a medical based practitioner. So I think that's okay. You just have to take this, that either it's hypnotherapy or it is hypnosis, it's one and the same, okay? But yes, hypnotherapists, they can actually take in cases where there are like there is some psychological thing going on in a person, whereas hypnotist is a person who cannot take any sort of a medical background person, and that person can just help people, normal people who want to improve their life with the help of hypnosis. Okay, so this is this is the difference that comes from the name hypnotherapy. And okay, so now whenever we think about hypnotherapy, or whenever you might be thinking about hypnotherapy, I would like to be honest here, and I would like to say that even before I learned hypnosis, these same beliefs were in me as well. I thought that that people this is actually hypnotherapy, what I am going to share with you in this video, which is considered just as a myth or just as a fear related to hypnosis, okay? So just be fine with it, because wherever you are right now, I used to be there a few years ago, even before when I started learning hypnosis. Okay, so general notion of being hypnotized, general notion of what people feel, that what it might be feeling like to be under hypnosis, or even better word that came into my mind right now is to be under the spell of a hypnotist. And I would like to clarify, there is nothing like a spell over here. Okay, so Yeah, those whirling eyes. You can see, this is the exact idea that comes into the mind of people that, you might be dazzled, you might be actually mesmerized and totally out of control, and your eyes might go like that. Another thing is like that, that a hypnotherapist might show you a whirling image or something like that, which can actually can get you into a trance, and from there maybe you might also feel that the hypnotist might do that without your concern. So yes, that might actually happen, and I would like to say that that is not totally true. Hypnotherapist can actually not take a single step without your consent. Okay, so and in reality, this is what exactly looks like going to a hypnotherapist and asking for a therapy. It can be related to any area of your life. It can be related to improving any area or any part of your subconscious mind. Okay, so it generally looks like this, where you are seated on a recliner or a couch, and the therapist is either sitting next to you, or the therapist might be moving around next to you. Okay, so there is no difference in either of these two settings. Obviously, there is another one more type of setting where you are actually on the phone and the therapist is doing therapy on you via a distance. It might be thousands of kilometers of distance, and still the therapy works. We will be discussing that in the later part of this video. First, we are going to discuss about this hypnosis and myths related to it. Okay, so now a question might be in your mind, and that can be that, is the hypnotherapist going to control you? Are you going to be totally in control of a hypnotherapist, or they are going to be like totally going to control over your life? These are a number of things that might go into your mind. I know they all mean the same, but still somewhere or the other, this just boggles the mind of people, and people would love to not get into the trap of something like this. What is described as something like this? Okay, getting controlled by somebody, or getting into control over of somebody who is like maybe more superior than you. But yes, hypnotists are just normal people like you. They are nowhere superior than you. Okay, yes, they do have a knowledge of human mind and have to use commands to bring out all the negativity out of the human mind and switch over with positive words and positive suggestions, so that your life can be put to a better level. Okay, so you will accept commands for good for your life. Okay, now hypnotherapist can only give you commands that you are willing to be installed inside your mind. Okay, so it can be like whatever is visible, whatever is like visible on your screen right now. All these sort of commands and all these sort of realities can be brought into your real life, like you wise, able, valuable, tender, trusting, generous, daring, thoughtful. Numerous other things are given here, but I would like to say that all these positive things, all these positive factors, good behaviors, good way of thinking, good way of feeling. If there is some feeling which you don't like at all, then you can actually switch, and maybe you can either say switch or a flip. You can actually flip those feelings and start feeling good. That all can be done by the help of hypnosis, and you will be extra aware of the surroundings like noises and activities. Okay, so now in the setting of stage hypnosis, you might have heard or you might have seen. I myself have seen a magician actually hypnotizing and making people crazy on the stage. People dance. A man is dancing wearing the clothes of a female, and people just do stupid things on stage. I have seen all that by myself. And what happens is that people usually don't remember once they are on that stage hypnosis setting. Once they come out of that hypnosis session, they are not going to remember what happened to them. They are not going to remember what was done with them. Okay, and if they did something stupid, if they did some silly actions on stage, like a man dancing with the female clothes, he is going to feel embarrassed, once he comes out of that hypnosis state. And I would like to say that, that itself actually makes people think that even the session with a therapist, might be something where the therapist is doing something on you and you will be totally wiped out of the reality outside you, outside the therapist's office or something like that, and you will be actually not be knowing anything. You will not be knowing what happened to you, what was told to you, what happened around you, which is not true. Okay, and let's see what happens actually during the therapy of hypnosis. And with the therapist, you are actually becoming more aware, because hypnosis is a state where you are going deeper into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is actually 90% area of your mind, which is going to make you feel a lot more aware. Okay, so this is how your awareness might increase, and you might be a lot more watchful. Even though your eyes are closed, you are still going to feel. You are still going to observe what's happening around you. Now let me tell you how deep this can go, how intense or how tremendous that sensory power can increase during a hypnosis session, up to that level where you might feel that the therapist is actually sitting and around you, or the therapist is moving around you. And you will actually know what the therapist is doing. Even if the therapist is not making a single bit of noise while moving around, still you will be aware what is happening. You will also be aware even if somebody is stepping into or outside the room of the therapy. And yes, that is the level of sensitivity. That is the level of your senses becoming overly powerful during a hypnotherapy session. So, you will be hearing whatever noises, like in normal life, when you are sitting in the office, you are still aware that things are going on around you. But at a point, what happens is that, when you are totally engrossed into doing something, you might actually not feel exactly all the totality of the voices or the noises coming from around your surroundings. Okay, but here in hypnosis, you might be totally extra sensitive to all the audible sounds around you, all the audible sounds in the office, outside the office of the therapist, and everything possible around you. Okay, in the surroundings, in the environment, and everywhere. Okay, so don't be thinking that if you are in a hypnosis session, if you are listening to any voices or noises, means you haven't gone deep enough. The more deeper you are, the more intense the noises will sound to you. Okay, so that's one thing that you have to be clear about. Another thing is, these are the things I want to discuss so much, because I get so many frowns. I get so many scornful looks whenever I say that I am a hypnotist, or a hypnotherapist, and I do get different expressions from people. People generally, only my friends and people around me who know me very well, they know that I'm not going to hypnotize them beyond their concern. Otherwise, any normal person, even friends who are just so friends, they feel that, if they do something that I don't like, I might actually, without their concern, hypnotize them and do something stupid to them, which is not true. Okay, so let's see what a hypnotherapist cannot do, because this actually is really funny. It's really hilarious. What sort of looks I get at the end of the video. I will be discussing with you what sort of stupid things I do face a lot of times. For now, we are just going to discuss all this related to hypnosis. So let's get into this. And okay, so first thing that I would like to tell you that a hypnotherapist, certified hypnotherapist, okay, who is intending to make this into his or her profession, because a professional person is going to have some limits, is going to have some ethics of how he or she is going to practice this thing. And just because this thing is good for the people, it's good for the mankind, they are supposed to follow some strict guidelines. They are supposed to follow some strict rules and regulations, and they are not supposed to go beyond them. Okay, so the first out of that is install a command that you don't want. No matter however the therapist can be like at master at his level of doing hypnotherapy, still a therapist does not have any that therapist cannot actually install a command that you don't want to put into your mind, okay? Because a lot of people feel that a lot of people do make fun, a lot of my friends, they do say that, okay, you are a hypnotherapist, you can read the future. I obviously am a tarot card reader as well. So people usually, my friends, they do make a little bit of fun about it. They say that, okay, you are a hypnotherapist, you can go and see into what's going on in my future. So you are the person who I have to always keep happy, That's really funny. And I would like to say it's nothing like that. Hypnotherapists are purely normal people just like you, but they just have knowledge about how human mind works and how to actually get a person into hypnosis when they are in a session, okay? And let's see the next thing. Okay, next thing is like people feel that that a hypnotherapist they might hypnotize you and start extracting secrets, deep lying secrets which you don't want to share with people, and they might just break out those secrets and you might not be able to control that, okay? And secrets about just anything, and then people feel that then people generally feel that the therapist might go and share with somebody, and maybe then once you come out of the session you might feel guilty, you might feel embarrassed that, oh my gosh, why did I share that? But let me tell you one thing, even if you are comfortable, first of all, the secrets, there are going to be innumerable secrets inside you, but I would like to say that when a person is actually under this under hypnosis, still they are fully under their own control, and if a hypnotherapist is going to ask something that is going to dig out really deep secrets, the client, the person being hypnotized, has full control to say, I'm sorry, and I don't want to share this knowledge, I don't want to share this stuff with you. I have a lot of things lying inside me, but I still cannot share this with you because I'm not comfortable. Even though you are in the deep state of hypnosis, like there are what stages we work with hypnotherapy. There are 3 stages of hypnotherapy. First is like a normal deep state, then there is a medium, and then there is this very deep state of hypnosis. I know how to hypnotize and induce people into even the 3rd state of hypnosis, but still any person who is in the 3rd state also of hypnosis, still they are under full control whether they can tell me, okay, I'm not comfortable sharing this, so they can just, can you please just skip asking that question to me? And that is totally normal, you can do that. Another thing is the hypnotherapist, it is against the rules and regulations of a hypnotherapist to share any stuff that is going on with the client with somebody outside them, okay? Just because in a hypnotherapy session, people dig out very deep lying secrets, deep lying emotional traumas and disturbances which they don't even share with their family or their spouses or just anyone in this world. And that's the reason that they are very sensitive with that information, and that's the reason it's a rule that the hypnotherapists follow, that they are not going to share any of the stuff that they have during that exchange of therapy session outside that room of hypnosis. So you can actually carry just one person with you, whom you are very comfortable with, and that's it. The therapist does not allow more people inside their office, just because they know that once any deep lying secrets start coming out of the client is not going to be comfortable with like 4 or 5 people sitting around them. So that's it, so that is there. And another thing I would like to say that install commands they can use your time and your maybe money also and your energy in order for their good use, okay? So this is what people feel, that a therapist, a hypnotherapist can actually control you like a puppet, and that is not true. A hypnotherapist cannot do this, okay? And yes, or maybe you might feel that once you get hypnotized, your entire remote control lies in the hands of the therapist, and they can actually command you, or they can just do anything with you anytime once you are under their spell. That might be your thinking, but this is not actually true. Okay, now a hypnotherapist can actually, yes, we do install commands which we can use in future when you come for the next session. Okay, but again, hypnotherapy is purely for the well-being of mankind, and that's the reason that it cannot be used in this way to control you, to to bring out all the good things that you have and let the therapist have it. It does not work that way. Okay, so I hope you understand this, and this picture usually freaks out people, that that you might be getting controlled as somebody is controlling the puppet, which is not true. Okay, and if there is anything during the therapy session, if the therapist tells you and you don't agree with that, the person, even if that person is in the third stage of hypnosis, at the deepest stage, there are more deeper stages than this, but we just work with the first 3 stages. And even if you are in the third and the deepest stage, still you can very much deny the therapist that you are not going to do that. Okay, and honestly speaking, no therapist is going to tell you anything stupid during a hypnotherapy session. Okay, Okay. So let's get into. Okay, so now a lot of people know that I am into distance hypnotherapy, and usually people feel that only in-person therapy, where therapist is in front of you, and there is a difference people do feel, whereas there is actually no difference. Okay, I will be getting into that a little bit later, but just before we are just beginning with this, let me tell you this, that most of the people feel this way, that the therapist needs to be in front of them, because there are a lot of reasons that they feel that the therapist might be able to do. Okay, and people usually feel that the most effective form of hypnosis is in person and not a distance mode or something that's available on the phone. Okay, why do they feel this way? In person, because they feel when the therapist is close to you, that the therapist can actually have a look at you. If something goes wrong, then the therapist is there with you. Okay, why do people feel that way? Why do people feel that in-person therapy session is a lot more effective? Because people feel that if they get out of control, you might feel that if you get out of control, then the therapist is there to bring you back into control. Okay, that is one thing. The next thing that you might be feeling, that if you need any healing therapies during the therapy session, that the therapist can actually balance your energy. Like a lot of people feel that a hypnotherapist, they can actually work with some sort of energy giving to a person, or that person can actually do something with crystals or something magical, swooshing in the air, or commands in the air, which is nothing like that. And another thing is, people feel that a hypnotherapist has a lot of powers, and with those powers, because of those powers, their physical presence of being present in front of you is required, which again is just a myth. Okay, let's see what happens in distance and online therapy, and I would like to see whether it's a distance session or online session on Skype. It works the same as it works with an in-person therapy session with a hypnotherapist. Why does it work that way? Because a hypnotherapist is not going to swoosh any sort of commands in the air. Neither the hypnotherapist is going to do something, play around with the energy around you, because hypnotherapist is purely hypnotherapist. And a hypnotist, what happens is that during a therapy session, whether it's in person or online, what is the most important thing? The most important thing is the voice of the hypnotist. Okay, so if the voice of the hypnotist is reaching you, then you are going to be totally fine. And so in that case, whether you are in person or whether you are at a distance in some another country or in some another continent, still the things are going to work out fine. And people sometimes feel that a session on Skype, where the therapist is actually going to be able to see what is happening to the client, that might be more better than a session on phone. But I would like to say either of them just work fine, so there is nothing like that one thing works better and one thing works lesser. Okay, there is nothing like that. And okay, yeah, so this is like, if you are interested in getting a session with me, all the details are given below in the description box, just in case you would love to book a session with me. If you are not interested, it's fine, you still got this knowledge, okay, because getting this knowledge about what hypnotherapy is actually, and it's really important, no matter whether you would get a therapy session now or in future, either with me or with anybody else, it just depends on you, but clearing out the doubts is really, really important, okay, and I hope that I helped you to clear all those myths, all those doubts, all those insecurities within you, okay. So thank you so much for giving your precious time and watching my videos, because it's just a privilege, a lot of times I think about this, that, the universe, all sort of knowledge, whatever knowledge you are seeking is lying inside you, but still, if you feel that I am eligible to give you that knowledge, then, it's just the choice of the divine within you to give that privilege to the divine within me for sharing the knowledge with you. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being with me. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you can stay updated to my future videos. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.